We hope you enjoy this rebroadcast of Risk On's highest-rated topics for the previous week. Todd and Jason will return next week with their regularly scheduled programming. And now, Risk On.
Hey, it's Todd Ault. It's May 17th. This is the 74th episode of Risk On. It may be the greatest show about risk ever. Probably not, though. Maybe Kramer likes it better. You know, let me fix my stuff here.
We got a lot of stuff
discombobulated. This is a very busy day. I bought some RIOT at 23. I never keep track of the exact number, but it opened terrible today.
Yeah.
Because of the psychopath. I mean, because of Elon Musk.
The madman.
The madman. But
Bill Gates is psycho.
Is he?
We'll get into that, too.
Oh, yeah, heaven forbid he had an affair on Melinda. I called it, by the way. I called it!
Yeah, you did.
I called it! Wasn't a big call, though, was it? I mean, a rich guy having an affair?
Well, the other stuff...
What a stretch.
Dude, though, intermingling with Epstein, though. Come on now. You want to go there? We don't have to.
Jeffery Epstein?
Yeah, you know. The guy who killed himself? Yeah, okay.
I think him and I had lunch a couple times.
Yeah. Where's Ghislaine Maxwell?
I'm just kidding. I don't know Jeffrey Epstein.
Ghislaine.
I don't know. First of all, after the guy gets convicted of like pedophilia or having sex with minors or doing something bad, why would you hang out with him after that? I would, if you're going to be friends with him, just keep it low key. I mean, what the heck?
JB Ballin.
This guy was everywhere.
Yeah, man. I mean, Trump kicked him out of the Mar-a-Lago facility when he found out about it.
Did he?
Yeah, for sure.
Trump kicked him out?
Kicked him out of his club.
But Trump liked him in the beginning. But you didn't know he was a pedophilia.
Dude, he was whining and dining. You could show pictures of Epstein with everyone.
Michael Burry of The Big Short reveals a $530 million bet against Tesla. This is a notional put bet, right? So this is a notional bet. He put up a lot of money because he's so this is the March 31st. You know, he's probably in the money now.
That's like 40% of his portfolio.
Yeah, no, but the stock's down since then.
No, he's in the money.
He's got to be in the money.
Yeah, for sure.
If I were a Tesla shareholder, I'd be really Jesus. God,
the balance sheet with
this
Bitcoin,
chat's going crazy, guys.
Dude, how much did Elon cost Tesla with their Bitcoin balance sheet? Like the amount. I mean,
did you feel like I felt yesterday like I was pissed?
Yeah, because
he's messing with Bitcoin. He's like he's all over the map. What he's doing is crazy. Like who believes that he didn't know already before that Bitcoin cost to mine? And he's attacking Michael Saylor. And Saylor got convinced. The whole thing makes no sense to me.
He's like Sailor Moon, wears some Bitcoin thigh highs, all this stuff. He's trolling him on Twitter. I'm like, I don't know, man. But what happens if we find out that he did dump all that Bitcoin off the balance sheet and he's pumping Doge?
Yesterday he said he didn't sell it.
Oh yeah, he said indeed. I saw that.
No, but afterwards he came out and said,
he did clarify.
To quell the rumors, quell the speculation.
All right,
we are still long Bitcoin.
Okay.
I don't know what to say here.
I mean, I know that
I could rant about him for a while.
Let me just tell him, Elon, real quick. Elon, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is bigger than Tesla, and you are lighting a fire under a lot of people, millions of people.
But you were telling me that Wall Street Bets is going crazy with this guy.
Yeah, they had a lot of threads on that, talking about puts. Fisker is on CNBC right now. I can't tune in. I wish I could. Henrik. But it looks like money rotation into Fisker and a little bit into what is that? CCIV.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what is that? What's the other?
Oh, you're talking about Lucid Motors.
Lucid, yeah. Thank you. And then of course Nikola, and of course Chinese Neo. Let's see what happens with Tesla. How did it do today?
During the regular day, down an additional 68 cents. The stock is underperformed for the year. I think.
Dude, hit me with the year to date.
I think it's down 35% year to date.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, it's actually 20.96% down year to date, right? Let's look at what about the 1 year? 1 year still up 254%. How about the 6 month? Up 18. So the year to date's where it's down here.
What did they do? A 4-to-1 or 5-to-1 forward?
5-to-1.
5-to-1, right? Okay.
Right. I mean, it's still a very expensive stock.
Yeah, for sure.
But behaviorally, though, it's a strange thing. I don't even understand. I mean, he's super smart.
Yeah.
But what's the point of buying Bitcoin and announcing it, then announcing you're going to accept it, then appeasing the environmentalists and saying, well, it's too hard on the environment. We're trying to get a guest on that covers. You heard it, right?
Yeah.
That when you buy a Tesla, according to him, and he's an expert at this, we're going to find out really, really all the details. But he says that from the time you buy a Tesla, your impact on the environment is 7 years.
Yes, 7
Right?
years.
It takes 7 years to gain back the cost of building that Tesla. Keep in mind, Teslas are powered by, basically, when you go to get power from a Tesla station, it's usually on some sort of coal-fired plant. Now, it doesn't always mean it. The actual devices that they use, the plastics in there are made from oil.
It's petroleum-based.
It's tons of fossil fuels involved in building a Tesla.
Bitcoin obviously took a beating after the large social media footprint of Elon Musk captivated the audience, possibly made them panic sell. Bitcoin 44,227 at the time we went on air.
Wow, really?
Ethereum.
I bought some at 42 this morning.
Ethereum 3394.
Wow.
Now listen, it's still 13 to 1 or so. So that's been the ratio's been actually improving in Ethereum's favor for a while now. It was 30 to 1 for the longest time. And now Ethereum is closing the gap strongly here around 13 to 1.
Base flyer.
Oil.
Clean Spark. We bought more of this today. Let's pull up the chart on Clean Spark.
Sparky, 95% carbon neutral Bitcoin mining operation.
Yeah, but look at it since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it's been destroyed.
It's down $12 a share since the beginning of the year. We're trying to bottom tick this thing.
When Sparky
we made money at
when
it.
Sparky was $40, Bitcoin was at $40K.
Hey, let's cover some housekeeping. This Wednesday, a special guest in the audience will be Marshall Wilkerson, flying in from Tucson. He is a $2 billion developer in New York City. He is a sales coach. He is a closer. And I admire this guy. He is a stud. I literally met him in Florida many years ago. We became friends. I think in the beginning stages of it, I think I was really tired and I wasn't really nice to Marshall. I think I was going to go sit down, and he said hello, and I was like a kind of a dick to him.
Oh, man.
But then later on, because we saw each other smoking cigars, and later on, I think we came together. I met him up in New York before COVID. Believe it or not, I had lunch with him like 2 days before COVID thing happened, right? It was like I had to fly back on February 14th. There was a Grant Cardone conference, a 10X conference here in Vegas. And then, this is where I believe I got COVID because I went to a convention. It was like terrible. I mean, remember how bad this was?
This is where you think you got it?
At that convention.
You are fake news.
I don't believe you.
What are you talking about?
I don't believe you got it there.
There was thousands of people from all over the world, including China, that were there, and I got the China flu.
Maybe it was just the regular flu. Could have
Maybe
been.
it could have been. You never know.
Did you lose your sense of smell and taste and stuff?
No.
Oh, it might have been flu.
Could have been. Anyway, I don't look like I lost my sense of taste, do I?
No.
No. I don't think that happens. Anyways, Marshall will be in the house, special guest. Those of you who have been following the Bill Gates issue, the first day it happened, I basically came out and said, "Hey,
you called this perfectly.
There's no way that we don't like each other after 27 years. No one parts company after 27 years with that kind of money, unless usually there's someone else involved."
Yeah.
What do you know about this now? I mean, I got let's pull the image up real quickly here. So Bill Gates, they admitted today that when he resigned, so the New York Times is reporting that he resigned because of the investigation of his affair with a Microsoft employee. That was 20 years ago, but he resigned in 2020 to no longer be the chairman of Microsoft. He also left the Berkshire Hathaway board.
Correct. I mean, so that's where there's
you
smoke, there's fire.
You wondered why is he leaving the Berkshire Hathaway board? Well, he was going to focus on philanthropy, right?
Yeah.
But Melinda and Bill just did the Inside the Mind of Bill Gates thing on Netflix not too long ago. But it appears this whole thing's been going down for a while, as he's been hanging out with he hung out with Jeffrey Epstein a few times. Melinda was not happy. You want to push something, don't you?
Bill.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
What do you
I don't
think?
understand.
What do you think? Well, you're a rich guy like that. You got to have an affair.
No, you don't have to do that.
You don't think so?
No way. Why would you have to do that?
But why would he have to? Why would he have to?
I mean, personally speaking, that's an odd couple. That's just my opinion.
Who's an odd couple?
I mean, they're an odd-looking couple. I don't know.
Odd looking?
Have you seen the memes out there?
Yeah, but those are recent memes. Come on, see Melinda French when she was younger.
I don't know.
She was a young girl. smart. Where'd she come from? Dartmouth or something, or Duke?
There's things going on with Bill Gates and eugenics and TED Talks and Kenya, and just do some research. I don't like the guys. Personal opinion. So whatever.
All right, we're dying here. Let's
No,
go.
we're not really dying. We're moving on to current events.
Let's go on to current events.
So Governor Cuomo from New York, he's about to bag $5 million for his
Let's pull that up.
pandemic leadership. The hypocrisy there. What a joke that is. I mean, he decided not to use the ship that the former President Trump put off the New York harbor. Instead, he piled a bunch of people into retirement homes and
Can we leave this up on the screen real quick?
so many
You
people
guys,
died
look at
from
this
that.
guy talking about people must pay. He'll receive $5.1 million for his memoir detailing the leadership of his COVID during 2019. In addition, he'll be earning He earned $3.12 million last year. State officials announced Monday. His contract book also included $2 million paid over 2 years, dwarfing the governor's salary of $225,000.
What a joke.
This guy makes millions of dollars.
So pissed.
And then bashes Wall Street, bashes everybody.
The Navy ship Mercy on the coast of the New York Harbor. Here it is. You guys need ventilators? We got ventilators. He hides the ventilators. You guys need the ship to put COVID patients there to isolate them? Here's the Navy ship Mercy. Go ahead, use it. He doesn't even use it. He ships all the people that are have COVID into nursing homes, and then so many people died from it, and then he gets awards for it. Like, it's crazy. This is crazy.
So I watched Saturday Night Live on Friday, and I thought some of it, or Saturday, sorry about that. That's stupid. And some of it was funny. But about into the show in the beginning, I thought to myself, I don't like Saturday Night Live. It's not that funny anymore. It doesn't seem funny. And now, obviously, Saturday Night Live hits ratings low in first episode after Elon Musk, high-profile hosting gig. I don't know. Have you watched it at all?
I haven't watched it since my old when I went to college with Jimmy Fallon when he was on it. I haven't watched it since then.
Really?
Yeah, Jimmy was on it. It was good. Jimmy went off to do bigger things, get his own TV show. Shout out to Jimmy Fallon. And yeah, I haven't watched it since.
So let's go to the next slide here. Elon Musk clarifies that Tesla has not sold any Bitcoin. In an early morning tweet, Tesla CEO said it has not sold any Bitcoin. In a Twitter exchange Sunday afternoon, Musk had implied the electric vehicle maker sold or may sell the rest of Bitcoin holdings, sending the price of the cryptocurrency down. Musk has been a big supporter of cryptocurrencies, helping rally digital crypto coins and Bitcoins the last several years. I think this guy's a tormentor now.
I don't know.
I
what
think
he's thinking.
I think he thinks we're a joke.
What is he doing?
Look what he's done to crypto, right? I mean, do you assess all this sell-off, this 60,000 to 42,000 to Musk?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
I do, for sure. And opportunities to short, for sure. On BitMEX, 10 times leverage. I mean, if you want to go bigger than that, it's a little scary. But 10
Right.
times leverage shorters piling in, absolutely. Panic selling. The perfect formula on the back of his social media footprint where he broadcasts to millions and millions of people. Absolutely.
You want to cover this Iron Dome thing?
Well, I thought that was interesting.
Hey, I don't know anyone. Do you know anyone that makes? Let's go to the screen here.
Check this out.
Do you know anyone that works on projects for Israel?
I do happen to know.
You know any companies like that?
I do,
I know a
actually.
few.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is. I'll go back to the headline. Leave it up there for a minute. What the heck? Okay, where's it? Look at that number.
Yeah.
Okay. U.S. approves $735 million in weapons sales to Israel per a new report.
That's pretty interesting, I thought, considering right now that...
By the way, I don't know anyone that got $735 million contract, but that's exciting news.
Correct.
I mean, there's a negative and a positive, right? So Joe Biden takes over.
Yep.
112 days into 113 days into his administration.
Rockets flying.
Suddenly there's rockets flying in Israel.
Yep.
Anything strange there?
I mean, it's
Anything
pretty...
strange there that suddenly there's oil problem here, gasoline problem, the pipeline, people putting... You see anything weird here? We're trying to... I really literally want your honest opinion. We're trying to assess whether August is a good timeline to have a risk-on conference. It would be a weekend, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'd have guest speakers like Brad Lee. We'd have other guest speakers.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly the format I want to do it. Is August okay with everyone? And then, Josh, when I have this risk-on conference... How am I doing this? Am I charging people for admission? Am I giving them low-cost admission because it costs some money to do it? I could cover the cost of it. I'm not really worried about that. But people got to fly from all over the world to be here.
They would have to cover that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what that's going to look like in terms of
Look at that view right there.
how many people we want to try to have on the show initially. I mean, like the The number of people there.
100 people? 50 people?
2 nights, 3 days. But is it 50 people? Is it 200 people? Roland's saying August. Roland, I got you, buddy. You're going to live here then.
What do you? 50 people with a possibility to expand to 100 based on. I like that.
But you'll get a room that could expand to 200.
Yeah.
I love these guys. This is one of the funnest things that I do. I'm in Utah. Mark. Oh, well, I'm in Utah. What's he saying? I'm in Utah.
Oh, he'll drive to Vegas.
He'll drive to Vegas.
Yeah, Mark, bring it, man.
I'm serious. We're going to have a sign-up sheet in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
We're thinking about doing the Virgin Hotel. And I honestly think, what the heck, Papa?
Papa, cut it out.
Come on, man. Let us buy some food. I honestly think, I don't know how to do this, but the concern is when you let the ticket be for free, no one kind of takes it seriously. They have no investment.
Right.
So I want to make it, though, so that they could come to the show, party with us, get some value,
right,
and they go home with more. So we're going to figure that out, right? We're going to figure that out. Well, I'm going to tell you what they're going to learn. They're going to have Brad Lee there. We're going to have Marshall Wilkerson there. We're going to have some special guests that are good names presenting to us that will teach people. They're going to learn if you have a small business. Or you have a big business and you've never had to raise any capital. I have raised hundreds of millions of dollars over 32 years. I have brought companies public through syndication for REITs. I was part of the syndicate desk at Dean Witter. I raised hundreds of millions of dollars for funds, for my hedge funds, for public companies. And you're definitely going to learn how to raise money. I'm going to have a small little presentation there.
Yeah.
About an hour and a half presentation on how to raise money for your business. If you need to raise capital. Okay, this is going to be a busy week, guys. Busy week. Tomorrow, after the close.
What's up, Base Flyer?
The big interview, apparently, hey, you know what's going to happen, right? As soon as we interview this guy, these guys are all going to go somewhere else, man. That's sad. We'll still love you, though.
It's okay. If the Naked Army leaves us, that's fine.
That's all right. We understand.
Okay.
Hopefully the CEO of Naked Brands tomorrow after the close. Then we got to get that interview done, spun it out, let everyone know that's happening.
We got Marshall Wilkinson.
Marshall Wilkinson's Wednesday.
Yep.
Do you know the other people that are on Aultonomous during the week?
You guys need to follow Marshall Wilkinson on Instagram. Yeah. He goes live a lot. He just gives you so many nutrients.
He moved his show to YouTube.
Oh, he did?
He's on YouTube now also.
Oh, awesome.
I put that out in the chat. Phil Cotcherero, that interview is going to be up soon. We'll look for that to be happening. Stormy?
Yep.
Stormy Simon, she's the former president of Overstock.
Yep, overstock.com.
One of your favorite guys.
Yep.
Patrick
Byrne.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It is the 17th of May. It is the 74th episode. Tomorrow, episode number 75. Right afterwards, we're interviewing the CEO of Naked Brands. This is interesting times, Josh. Jason.
AMC's ripping. Meme
Hey,
stocks
guys.
for life.
We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks, Skyla. What, we live?
Yeah, let's go.
Hey, I'm transfixed with that song. Hey, those of you who weren't just on our Instagram live, it's fun working here.
It is. It's a great time.
Hey, it's Todd Ault. This is Risk On. I'm with Jason Bartholomew, my partner in crime. Josh is in the house, our producer, Josh Smith. And yes, his name's Josh Smith, even though he's a Norwegian. He's a Viking. It should be like Josh Olaf.
Smithficent.
What?
Smithficent.
Smithficent. Yeah. We got Skyla in the house. She's a German. She's an Aryan.
Aryan, I love it.
It's true, man. I've met her family. They're all big Germans.
Dude, I bet they love
You should see her brother, dude.
On
He's
8chan
like
and
huge.
4chan.
Her brother, when he was like 3 years old, was like 105 pounds.
Jesus.
I'm not joking. He is the biggest dude, strongest dude. And the funny thing is, when you meet him, he's so nice. Isn't he nice?
No.
Like a nice, gentle giant. He wasn't when he was a kid. When he was a kid, I was afraid of him.
Richard Ritter, right on time with the $3 super chat.
Hey,
thank you, Richard.
Brett Nicker in the house, our director and assistant director. It's the 75th episode of Risk On, and one of the most stressful for me.
Yeah.
Because we always want to keep our word to our audience. It's the most important thing we do. We disclose everything we're allowed to disclose.
Look at these super chats.
And we try to keep our word the best we can about our trading, what we're doing, what we're legally allowed to say. By the way, you saw the Naked Brands 20F just dropped, right?
Just dropped 75 pages. I couldn't get
75 pages of Naked Brand 20F dropping. I'm asking everyone in the audience to understand that 20F was coming. Of course, I couldn't say anything, but it's now out there. It causes all kinds of issues. Okay, let's cover a complicated situation.
Okie, you're right about that.
I'll do everything I can to make sure that I'm not going to get obliterated for this one.
All right, here we go.
Okay. So over the weekend, we submitted questions to the CEO. The CEO agreed to do an interview. We submitted the questions from the viewers. They were extensive. Josh, you accumulated hundreds of questions, and you did your best to not duplicate those questions, correct?
Compiled them all, got them all categorized, organized, and prepared.
Is he on speaker or something? Can he be heard?
Hello.
That's weird.
Mute yours, maybe?
Mute.
Is he okay?
there we go.
Okay, so let's go again, Josh. You categorized them all. Okay.
Cardi B.
You sent them
Organized
to
them.
them, and he
Yep.
agreed to do an interview today.
Correct.
Okay. So
He
we
sent
woke
over
up.
the invite. He accepted
Okay,
the
so
invite.
we're not
Yep.
criticizing the CEO.
No.
He has a complicated situation. I don't know what it is. So we then learned that the 20F is dropping. Not because he told us, we just figured out this is why he was having trouble, right? Because he had to file his annual
Yeah,
report.
of course.
Josh, you receive an email. Let's go over in order what the email. This is full disclosure. We're not criticizing the CEO.
No.
We want Justin. Justin has still agreed to be on the program.
Yep.
But we want you to see in real time what happened for yourself, to share with your fellow shareholders so you understand we're fully transparent. So let's go through the email, Josh.
So, Tuesday, the 18th of May, at 8:27 a.m., we confirmed that he was going to do the show. I sent him a little bit of kind of instructions. Obviously,
Oh, yeah, it's on the big screen.
he wanted to make sure that we recorded it and then gave him the first kind of overview, and he could choose which parts he would want to release to the public. And so we agreed to that.
We
based
did
on the
agree to
interview,
that.
and we still do. And so then we, yep.
No, speak up a little bit.
So then we set him up with just some basic instructions. And when was this?
This was the one that says gents, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, gents.
This morning.
Hello, gents. We woke up to this.
Hello, gents.
I got a call at 7:30 this morning from Jason waking me up upset.
Yeah,
You were upset.
a little bit. Disappointed.
You were, okay, whatever.
All right, that's fine.
Upset.
Yeah.
Concerned.
Concerned.
Go
So,
ahead.
Yeah. And so he says, apologies. Council wants me to hold back tomorrow and see the market reaction to our filings. What we speak about will be adapted to this. Todd, I will call you in my AM to round up,
Yeah.
align, and reset a placeholder time for a few days out. Best, Justin.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure many of you are disappointed, and I'm the captain of my own ship. I'm captain of the ship. I'm executive chairman of Ault Global and chairman and CEO of Ault & Company, and the only boss I have is my wife and God. So I take responsibility that he's not on the interview today, but as you can see, I can't make him.
We actually, we tried, we made one more attempt.
We were a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Right?
We're
So we
disappointed.
said, well, considering that we're going to record the interview.
Yes.
And then we're going to send him the interview and,
Let him,
that whole process.
Said,
Maybe
hey,
make sure
he's-
it's right.
Maybe he's busy. So
Correct.
maybe something came up. But we thought we'd throw out one more attempt at, a request. And
Here's my assessment of the situation. He's in the middle of complicated regulatory filings
Big time.
and doing an interview that in any way contradicts with anything he's saying. If you have conservative counsel, he has worries that he wants to make sure it's done right.
Right.
So you could argue that him not doing the interview is because he wants to do it right. He's being conservative. I've got no issue with this. I just want, for transparency purposes, for the audience to understand that I'm not jerking your chain.
Hey, listen, you know exactly where he's coming from. Being
I am the executive chairman and was the CEO of Ault Global.
right.
And I get questions all the time I can't answer for various reasons.
Yep.
I'd love to tell everybody what's going on at the company.
I mean, there's stuff that comes on through here every day we can't talk about.
Right. But of course, Ault Global is going to be reporting soon, so I will have a conference call. But there's where it is. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Just
No.
kidding. Just kidding.
No, the bottom line is
kidding.
Justin's going to do the interview, and
Yeah.
we support him because he has complicated situation here. The 20F is a huge document. It can
So listen, it's 45 minutes till the show ends. The 20F is out there. Let's see if this changes our questions. So I know it's probably a little bit of a pain for the Naked Army, but in light of the fact that the 20F was filed today, which I suspect is why I couldn't do the interview, why don't we look at our questions and see if there's any new ones that arise out of this?
Yes.
And we're going to stick to it.
In fact, Naked Army, go sift through the 75 pages, you bunch of sleuths, and give us some more questions. Go ahead, do it. I dare you.
And he also mentioned he's going to give you a call when he wakes up. So that's
Yeah.
right around now.
It's around now.
He might,
We'll
he
get a
might
call.
reach
Yeah.
out. And
Absolutely.
explain
Okay,
something else.
we're only transparent about the emails just to let the audience know that there is an issue. We're working on it.
He's been transparent with us.
He's been transparent with us. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theory people out there. There's not.
No.
There's no conspiracy with us.
Nope.
We want to do the interview. We
He's-
want to have him
yeah.
on. That's it.
He's
right?
coming. Yeah, he's coming to a friendly place.
Yeah.
We're going to provide
We're
him.
friendly, man. We're
Absolutely.
shareholders. We're shareholders. We're friendly.
Provide him a nice arena to talk about the company.
We're not as ruthless as Armada is. We opened strong today for us, for our portfolio.
Yeah.
We opened really strong, and it's funny. It doesn't reflect the Dow down 267, the S&P down 35, the Nasdaq down 75 is not a reflection
No.
of where we were. Look, we were up on the day.
SPY
nicely.
was strong, and everything was uplifted by SPY. You know, SPY
So
has a huge
we got
impact.
we got a rally in char today. FRD, which is Friedman Industries, a company we filed the 13D on.
Correct.
That was up for us today.
Even some of these tickers.
I'm surprised. Let's go look at the ones that we were losers in. So SSNT was up, FRD was up, char was up, the MDRR was up, BLRX is up, SSY up, DSS, Torch, even the Honest Company. Is it Jessica Alba?
It is.
Yeah.
Is it Alba? Jessica,
Are we
it's
green?
about time you go public and the stock goes down every day after the IPO. Thank you. At least it's up today. GWAC flat, USAU flat, BBIG flat, the gaming stock MLLF flat, OXBR flat, Rocket effectively flat, URG, the uranium stock flat. Kind of a flat market. We were down a little bit in our short in Dash, and what's the other one? Peloton.
Yeah, Peloton.
We're short that one. Iconics was flat. POWW was effectively flat because, well, it was down 6 cents. That was actually up most of the day. They announced a new contract.
There were some big moves today for us.
Yeah, we did really well
Powell
today.
announced contracts. Torch is moving closer to the merger. In
Hey,
fact,
I voted for that today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's 200 and some thousand.
Did you think I was
strong.
going to vote against the deal we were part of?
I
you
was
and
hoping not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Let's go right to.
Let's go to ticker.
Why do you think Naked Brands is down to 56?
Well, it's like their earnings. Well, it's a huge document. It's Sell the News.
So here's Naked Brands today on the document.
Thank you, Base Flyer.
She got a
super chat.
56-cent print in the aftermarket.
Yeah, hold on. I missed a couple of super chats. We're missing
This
some
is being
folks.
the stock's being sold off. It's down 7% in the aftermarket.
Buddy B, thank you.
I wonder what's in that document.
It's
the
good to be
20F.
king. Thank you. Sorry, I had to get those in. Well, we're going to sift through it here. I can't really do it live on air. I mean, I guess I could, but it would take up the whole time.
Tomorrow we will have Marshall. He's a personal friend of mine. The fact that I have to be corrected about his last name is absurd.
Say it together.
Marshall
Wilkinson.
Wilkinson. I always called him Wilkerson.
Wilkerson.
I screwed that up.
All
I
right.
called Skylab for a bunch of years. Never said her whole name.
They're not going to be happy until I read this verbiage.
So Marshall will be on the show tomorrow as a guest host. Marshall will be in the house. I want you to understand, I know you're here for a lot of other reasons like Naked Brands. If you have a business, if you have any desire to succeed in business, and I mean any, you've got to learn and know this guy. He's a personal friend of mine. He's coached me on occasion. He has done over $2 billion in transactions. He is a brilliant guy. We have him for the full day. He'll be on our show. We'll be on different streams together. We're going to be doing a podcast together. Marshall will be in the house. I'm excited about this. Hey,
Dude, the guy's a beast.
The guy is a beast.
Absolute beast.
And he doesn't grant people those, he doesn't do those kind of things where like everyone's there. He only does one-on-one coaching.
Yeah.
He only coaches, like I've been trying to convince him, come on to a program with me and we'll do this together. He's like, well, maybe I'll do one thing or something. No, I feel like I have to show you because sometimes we get lucky on some of these trades.
If you're prepared, it's not really luck.
Well, I think that was luck. I mean, I didn't know it was going to go to 26. Did you?
Well, there's some things going on between the disconnect. Sometimes the disconnect. Right now, a lot of people are realizing that SOS and CleanSpark are trying to create carbon neutral mining. And I even see some blue check marks on Twitter adding Elon Musk saying, hey, look at CleanSpark. Hey, look at SOS. They're trying to accomplish exactly what you're worried about as far as being efficient, not affecting the earth with all this mining. So those two tickers have gained some notoriety because of their ability to have cheap utilities, offsetting costs and offsetting carbon footprint. They're using hydro, they're using solar, they're using microgrids with energy storage systems. So that's why I like SOS and CleanSpark as opposed to some of these other tickers like Mara, RIOT, BT, FT, all those Chinese conglomerates.
So you can see on the screen today. Today is 5/18. Sold 5,000. Once you read it.
RIOT. We had a RIOT. By the way, this guy that runs RIOT, Jason Less, former poker player.
I know, but look what I did.
Played some sessions with him. 5,000 RIOT sold at $25.97.
Almost 26.
Correct the mundo. There it is.
Do it. And then what? Yesterday, 23. I bought it. Bought. Look at that. 23, 23.16, 23. Bought. We got lucky.
You own RIOT.
RIOT has been one of the rare trades where we. By the way, RIOT and Cannon for the longest time.
Too, yeah.
We made a lot of money on Cannon. We're still long Cannon, by the way.
Naked screaming back up.
Is it screaming?
What's your definition of screaming? Let's take a look.
It is going back up a little bit.
Okay, on the 5 minute, it is screaming back to 60 cents.
I'm a little lost in the naked thing. The Naked Army.
I don't know.
I'm going to admit with you guys, the Naked Army, you're much smarter than me on this one. I don't exactly know the gig where you can raise this much money. He clearly has a strategy about acquiring something big. I know he has a transitional story. I know he's excited to tell it. One of the things he told me on the phone is, I'm excited to tell the story.
Good. Colonial Pipeline, they actually having trouble with the logistics now. The shipping system was hit with a brief outage. Apparently that the hackers were already paid once, $5 million in Bitcoin. So they did pay the ransom. Not a lot of people on Capitol Hill were aware of that fact until after the fact.
They paid it in Bitcoin.
Yeah, they paid it in Bitcoin.
And that's really kind of a negative, by the way.
Yeah, it is a negative.
That's a negative. And that's one of the reasons I was concerned about Bitcoin, because that further shows the empowerment of the criminals to use Bitcoin. That's a bad case study.
Can I tell you something, though?
Please.
I know a former president that legitimately sent pallets of cash to a country.
I know.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's...
Cash.
Yeah, cash.
Pallets of cash.
Pallets of cash. I mean, it's... If
Iraq.
You're gonna, yes, in Iran.
Iraq.
If you're going to send money, if you're going to do stuff, when this thing was hacked and then you had issues with the supply chain, issues with getting fuel to everyday Americans, it's scary. People aren't prepared for that. You saw people filling up hefty bags of gasoline and putting them in their trunks.
Yeah.
Like, are you trying to make a car bomb? Like, what goes through somebody's mind when they do that? And then, so another thing is, if they can hack the Colonial Pipeline, they can hack pretty much anything. My point is the power grid, elections, interference. So yeah, this is a big problem. It's awakening for sure.
I saw that thing about, well, you can hack a Colonial Pipeline, but you can't hack election machines?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
Did you see the armed citizen in Arkansas in the neighborhood that used his rifle to stop a mass shooting? You won't hear about this.
How did he do it?
He just shot the guy with his rifle.
I know, but how is it a mass shooting then? Was he shooting people in a massive way?
He
stopped
potential mass shooter.
Look,
can you walk us through it?
Yeah, the guy was a loon. Okay, he didn't take his meds that day. Speaking of, how do we know that you're vaccinated? Oh well, how do you know that you didn't take your meds that day and you're not going to go out there and try to do a mass shooting? So this guy apparently was at his apartment complex and was yelling to random people or anyone that would listen, "Hey, come out of your apartments! Come out of your apartments!" Finally, this 87-year-old lady, Lois Hicks, she came out of her apartment, and unfortunately, the crazy man shot and killed the older lady. And then what happened was the 26-year-old gentleman who was continuing to fire rounds Zachary Arnold, he was actually firing and targeting other residents. Apparently, another person was armed in the complex, came out with his rifle, and put one center mass and stopped the threat for good. And I say kudos to that person.
Hey, yeah, let's kudos to this guy. And by the way, you should know, there's been situations in Texas where people have come into Texas churches to try to do those mass shootings.
Yeah.
And they were effectively shot by the people in the parishioners, right?
You rarely hear about this on the mainstream media because it doesn't fit their narrative, but it happens literally every single day. They only want to tell you about the bad things that happen.
So the real reason why you're with me is because you're armed and dangerous.
Usually,
Right? I mean, like when
Protector.
you know, no, it's true. When I'm in a restaurant, I like face the door. You know.
Yeah.
But now I don't have to face the door because Jason has a gun.
Yeah.
People maybe not so much, but we had a good day today.
Yep.
2 weeks ago, we didn't have such a good 2 days or 3 days.
Hey, while I got you here, hold on. Risk on Sports. What's the phone number? If you guys want to
It's
sign up,
949-799-1831, 949-799-1831, 949-799-1831. Type in ROS if you want our picks. Jason's on a tear.
Yeah.
He's 3x his money so far in about 45, 50 days. This has been Risk On. It's the 18th of May, Texas. We got 50 orders for merch yesterday. So much thank you.
Jesus.
We're going to see you tomorrow with Marshall. Sky will be here. Josh will be online. Tyler will be online. Nick and Brett will be in the audience. We apologize that the Naked Brands interview won't happen today, but it's going to happen.
It's coming.
God willing. See you tomorrow. Hey, it's Todd Ault. It's Risk On. We're running a little late here. It's 1:19. Marshall Wilkerson in the house. Marshall.
Good to be here. Good to be here. Thank you very much.
I'm excited, my friend.
Absolutely.
I also have Skyla. Skyla, you're in the house?
Hello.
That's Jason's always here. So do we have to introduce Jason? We should. That's courteous, right?
hey,
Jason, you had an incredible day today,
it's
didn't you?
a pleasure to meet you all.
Did you have a good day today?
Yeah, we rocked it, man. That was interesting. I love that call.
Yeah, we got a lot of good
a
stuff
lot
happening.
of momentum
Yeah.
into that. That's for sure.
Did you feel like the momentum there?
Dude, and then they found out that we can have lunch together.
Oh, I know. In the same city.
It's amazing.
Hey, let's go to my screen real quick. Let's pull it up and stay on my screen. Can we do that real quick, Brett? Nick? I receive a live feed of Bitcoin. And we're going to skip around in the program today because we have a Bitcoin contour on the show, Marshall. This thing printed below 30,000 today. And at one point, Ethereum was below 18. What in the heck is going on today, Marshall?
The carnage. The carnage is here. I think it's a mixture of things. You obviously have Musk. Musk kicked this entire thing off. And then you have the China ban. And I think you got a lot of emotion. I think there are a lot of people that don't really know what they own with these assets.
That's a cool shot, Marshall. Look at that.
And that's a great shot,
Isn't that
man. Awesome shot.
Wow, that is amazing, isn't it?
And so I think they're
Wow.
panicking a bit.
Wow. Yeah. Jason, what do you make of it?
Well, I do know this.
Oh yeah. Yes, I won.
Yeah, you guys have got matching Rolexes.
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty
For
sick.
kindred spirits.
There you go.
The
What do
dip-
you think of the Bitcoin debacle today?
Well, I mean, it was nice to see that at 30 it got bought up really quick.
Yeah.
And bounced hard, 30% up.
What do you think of that rolling concept that when there's margin calls due,
Oh, yeah.
it kind of prints down at that point?
Well, you knew that was going to happen. And then, of course, when there's margin calls and liquidation, a lot of people are moving money rotation out of the equities market and back into crypto. And also, what was interesting? I didn't see the run up in silver and gold today that I thought I might see as kind of a safe haven in lieu of Bitcoin. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. I was looking at some of the miners. Some of the large cap miners too, like GOLD and AG. Not a big amount of volume into those, so that was kind of interesting. Also gave me some insight on people not being that fearful of pulling up the britches and buying the dip on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Dogecoin went below 20 cents also, and that got eaten up as well.
Everyone and their mother is talking about coin. It's over temporarily. I was very specific and said, May and June we're going to have a sell-off. This is what I'm thinking. I did not expect it. If you would have told me it would have went below 30,000 intraday, I would have said you were nuts. This is crazy. And what's crazy about it is the speed of which it happened, and kind of almost a sense that I have that Elon Musk has. It felt like unscrupulous. Like it's almost scatter a little bit. Like, I mean, what is he does all these wonderful things. What do you think about? I want your take, Marshall, on his behavior.
Well, so I have a theory on this, and it's obvious that Musk is a macro guy. He's a big, huge thinker. He's trying to push the world forward, and it seems like he's trying to strong arm and shoehorn people into a position here, especially the miners. Because if you look at the cost, the consumption of energy that Bitcoin consumes as a network, it is high. Globally, it's not, but as a network, it is. We're going to have to go green with the deal. And I think he's going to use Bitcoin as the catalyst to spur a kind of a green revolution. Miners are going to want to go hydro, go nuclear. They're going to want to do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about it, what? It's true.
We happen to be in the mining space, as you know, so the fact that you said hydro and
well,
nuclear.
They are, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna completely change the game.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's for sure.
And he's forcing it. He's basically saying, take your medicine now so we can grow.
You know, he made his shareholders and his board of directors they had to balk at the case because they had $1.5 billion on the balance sheet for Tesla, and then he self-sabotages that equity.
I know. He's a erratic guy. He's a wild thinker, but at least that's my thesis. Because the macro environment hasn't changed, so I'm not changing my stance on Bitcoin.
Right.
Until the macro changes, then I'll reevaluate.
Yep.
So I think, and obviously he benefits from this. He sells electric cars.
If the Chinese government is banning institutions from holding and using Bitcoin, it sure seems like the U.S. should embrace it and put it on its balance sheet.
I think that's an amazing idea. And
why not? If you're going to spend trillions of dollars on stimulus, why not spend $1 trillion or $500 million? What do you think, and put it on the balance sheet?
Jay Powell and Yellen aren't a fan. Neither one of them are fans. I don't know. I don't see that happening. You know, they came out, one of the Fed chairs.
It's not forward thinking, though.
Well, just on an alpha,
not.
on an alpha perspective, I think that's what Todd's saying.
Yeah.
But they don't like it because it's contra to everything that they believe in power.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bitcoin is a libertarian thing. The reason why the Chinese don't want the people having it is because it protects you from having your wealth stolen from you by politicians, because it's decentralized, man. Quantitative easing doesn't apply to Bitcoin.
I love this guy.
And that's
We gotta cover
that's
that
why
one
I'm so
more time.
convicted.
So you own Bitcoin because basically politicians can't steal your net worth.
Correct. I have a human right to preserve my wealth. You know, and now I have an asset that allows me to do it.
Hey, one of the co-founders of Virgin America is going to be on our podcast. I think he was the president of Warner Music and EMI. The guy's a legend. He sat down with me, talked about Steve Jobs, talked about the record industry, really connected in that space, still in the digital space. This guy's a legend. I mean, for everyone from Janet Jackson to Coldplay to the Sex Pistols, you name it.
Yeah.
He's either signed them or represented them on one of his labels. He'll be up at 3:00 today.
I come in here and I watch you guys every day.
Really?
I'm in here and I'm on the Super Chat. I think this is the greatest show out there because it's real. Listen, nobody has the experience that you have in this game.
I do have a lot of experience.
Okay, and then you're willing to get in front of a camera. One of the big criticisms I get from the guys in my industry is they're like, look at Wilkerson, he's in front of a camera.
Right.
You know, none of the guys that I do deals with, you never even heard of these guys. They won't get in front of a camera.
Right.
And the people need to hear it and see it.
Dude, how do you talk about, I want to get into this. How do you manage to balance dealing with shop stewards, union employees?
Yep.
That's huge.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, that can be because I remember my first job after playing professional baseball was at UPS as an ops manager.
Yep.
And I got introduced to union employees real quick.
Yeah.
And a couple of my colleagues were like, Jason, you're not going to be able to change anything. You can write them up, but the union's going to protect them. I'm like, well,
Right.
what do you mean? Well, whenever you talk to somebody and discipline them, there has to be a shop steward in place.
Yes.
And all the documentation. What I learned was that unions protect the softer, weaker employees. That's what I found out.
Yeah.
But also unions are there for good purposes as well, to ensure that people get proper, benefits and stuff like that. So can you speak to that?
Sure. Well, I was a union contractor.
Yeah.
So I'm pro-union. The fact is that in the trades, that union workers are the safest and they're the best trained.
Right.
Period. But how do you deal with them? Strength.
Yeah.
You got to be strong when dealing with them. I mean, they have so many rules and protocols but it's a give and take. When you're a contractor and you're paying big dues.
Yeah.
I guess there's some malleability.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing with a lot of these large unions. Sometimes they can be considered, I don't know, not really fair and balanced as far as returning value to their union members.
Yep.
So sometimes they get a bad rap, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean, the allocation of your dues
Yeah.
that goes behind political action committees.
You're right.
That I think that could be an issue for sure.
Yeah.
We're nimble. Jason and I are constantly trimming the portfolio. We add to the 13Ds when we can, the ones we really love, that we have long-term conviction on. When I file a 13D, I file them with the preparation that I could possibly take the company over, that I could possibly do a deal with the company or help the company add value. If you guys are out there trading, today was a very violent day today, especially in crypto. Don't get whipsawed. Make sure you stand to your convictions like Marshall does. Marshall went long at 22,000. You're still long and strong. You're a believer in the trade.
Absolutely. I just keep buying.
Hey, check out Phil Quattrero at 3 o'clock today. We're going to have a private podcast, which you will not be able to see for a while because it'll be edited with Marshall later on today. Marshall will be in and out of my Instagram today. We're going to be doing some things, having some dinner. We appreciate you logging on. Jason, any final thoughts on the market?
I'm just short term on the market. I don't really want to hold much, except for precious metals and copper.
I love that.
Yeah, that's what
Do
I'm
you guys
long
want to
on.
hear my dad joke?
Yeah.
Oh, God, did I not give it? Go.
Do it.
So what did one wall say to the other wall?
What?
I'll meet you at the corner.
Nice. That's a full dad joke. Hey, Skyla.
It's a construction joke.
Yeah.
There you go, buddy. That is a construction joke. We appreciate you, Skyla. Hey, for Nick and Brett and Josh, Marshall in the house, this is something I really
Thank you,
wanted
guys.
to do.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys listening to Marshall, listening to Jason, myself. Marshall will be with us later on today. You guys take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, it's Todd Ault. This is Risk On. It's the 20th of May. I was pretty jacked a few seconds ago. Peace in the Middle East. Really? That's an oxymoron, right? But there's a ceasefire between Gaza and the Israeli military, the Israeli government. What a rip-roaring day for us, personally. Jason, what do you think of that?
I think we made a few dollars today.
It was an incredible day today. We're going to cover a lot of stocks today, a lot of risk-on moments for us, and we added some. What's up with this this one we added, this crazy one? You guess you get to take psychedelic mushrooms in California, maybe? I could actually just take a mushroom legally?
What's up, Fammy?
I did not know that.
She
That's
perked
Oh,
up.
Skyla's excited. Uh-oh,
She perked
mushrooms!
up.
Ooh.
Heads up, obviously, for a few things. We are going to terminate the Merch Pure giveaway at the end of the month, May 31st. So if you want some merch, type in merch to 949-799-1831, 949-799-1831. Put in merch, and we're going to send you some merch. I'm still negative on the market, but I'm not negative on every single stock. I got to figure out a thesis here. But I reshorted the triple Qs today at 328 and 329. I reshorted the triple Qs. I see it as a hedge. I just don't see that upside. I follow Tom Lee a lot at Fundstrat, and he thinks they're going to retest the 300 mark. I think they will too. But somewhat not relevant today. It was risk on, and we got risk on in a big way. We put on 300,000 of this FAMI, 350,000 FAMI. We also own this other one that's going to be the first black-owned casino. Is that true?
Yeah, Urban One. They're looking.
I know, but
for,
is that the first? Is that true that it's the first black-owned casino?
It could be.
Could be.
Yeah, if it's passed in Richmond.
I
Virginia.
know, but does that mean there isn't a black-owned
That means
casino?
there's none before.
Right, correct.
Wow.
That
Let's
is
look at the
correct.
chart there.
A former runner, UONE.
UONE. Let's pull it up real quick.
For those of you that don't know, there are several indicator or tickers like CARV. That's an
This thing
African-American
rallied
one.
huge today, too. Don't look at us because we're stupid. We bought it in the 9s.
It's okay.
I mean, we paid up for it, right?
Yeah.
But when I heard it was going to be the first black-owned casino, I was like, okay, let's get on this, right? It's down in the aftermarket to 917.
It's fine.
I think we paid 934. We're down in a little bit, but I'm actually I'm kind of bullish. I think this is a change for the company. I'm pretty excited about it.
You want to hear the 52-week range?
Sure, let's go with it.
$1.10 to $54.16.
Yeah, I think there's some value right there in the middle between $1 and $54 or something. There's somewhere where that stock will settle.
There's the future. Thank you for the $10 Canadian super chats. Appreciate that. Todd is the option guru.
Beautiful.
Yeah, until we're not, right?
Well,
Nah, I've been trading options a long time. It's actually something I did for my hedge fund for multiple years. And the only time I really lost money in options writing them and was really on 9/11.
9/11, yeah.
Yeah, 9/11 was a black swan event, unpredictable.
yeah.
And actually, I wouldn't have probably lost any money on my hedge. I was long about, I believe, between 5 and 30 million of notional treasuries. I was long treasuries. I used to trade them on eSpeed. Now, eSpeed was a product of Cantor Fitzgerald, which was on the top floor
Sure.
of World Trade number 2. In fact, I know the CEO. He's a very nice guy, Howard. And everyone that day was unfortunately passed away, right?
Yeah.
And so the spreads on treasuries were the biggest I'd ever seen. And I tried to sell in Japan. They were very upset over there that everyone had passed away, which they should be. And so for 4 days, I tried to sell my treasuries. I couldn't sell them. If I would have, I probably would have made enough to offset that hedge. But it was an unprecedented 4-day event where the market was closed and I couldn't cover options.
Yep.
I couldn't sell treasuries. It was a debacle and really put me into a personal tailspin. In fact, I would say the 9/11 event, that black swan moment, not only, I think I might have been 30 years old, right? Give or take.
Yep, that's about right.
Running a hedge fund for a few years. And what changed my life about that day was that I, up until that moment, didn't really understand hatred or a desire to hurt people or to villainize or demonize a group of people. And so it put me into a tailspin. About 6 months or so later, maybe a little longer, my first wife left me, kind of cold turkey. No warning. And I went into a tailspin for a few years. It was really a debacle.
You lost a ton of friends too. That's just
It was a very terrible event. I worked for what was Dean Witter at the time. Spent a lot of time on the 60th floor of World Trade number 2. And there's a few events ever that have happened to me. That was one of them. That I don't know where you were at 9/11, but you're a New Yorker, so you were right there probably. You're building stuff in New York. You're in the heart of New York City.
Yep.
And what is even making me sadder right now is that I'm talking to people, young people who come to me for advice and training and ask me questions, and they're unaware of 9/11.
I know.
It's a shame.
How are you unaware of 9/11? I mean, and I see conspiracy theories and all kinds of terrible stuff. I'm not commenting on that. I was there. I saw what happened. Now, I wasn't in New York. I was on a trading desk. I was in Los Angeles. I was there. I witnessed what happened on TV. It was real time. I knew people that really died. They actually were people I knew. And one day I was on the phone with them, and the next day I wasn't on the phone with them. So for us to have this sort of cancel culture, I don't even know what to call it. What would be the reason why? What would be the reason why we wouldn't be teaching people about 9/11? Why would we not be teaching people about 9/11? Because we don't want to say that a group of Arabs from Saudi Arabia flew planes into the towers? We don't want to say that? We want to not offend somebody that people died? 3,000 people plus died. So what the hell are we doing not teaching people in school American history?
Yeah,
I
man.
learned it in school.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I learned it.
You might have been the last.
Well, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And what'd you learn about it, Skyla?
I mean, that it happened.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody there, so I mean, we just.
You
learned
didn't know,
that it
like,
happened.
let me just.
I mean, I was a year old when it happened.
For some reason, I remember all the terrorist names. Like right now, I can just say, you didn't know that Mohammed Atta overstayed his visa and was at strip clubs in Florida. You know, he's a devout individual to his religion, but he's at strip clubs partying it up, knowing that he's going to commit a jihad, if you will. Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I think the answer is just a larger question of how education in this country is being implemented, and I think as you see it with Common Core, and I've heard some.
Oh yeah.
Math isn't math anymore, and some of this real radical. We're living in an upside down world, in a world of extremes, and we see it in the markets. Everything's an extreme. Politics is an extreme. Markets are extreme. Wealth is extreme. Poverty is extreme. And I think it's the answer to that question, and I actually feel your emotion as a New Yorker, I mean,
Well,
you know people in there, and so do I.
What's upsetting me is that I'm seeing people bashing Israel for defending itself, and I realize it's not a perfect situation. But when you lob rockets on peace-loving Israeli citizens, you're going to get a response.
Oh, no question.
I mean, did Israel launch rockets first?
No.
They did not.
They were not the aggressor.
This is insanity that I don't get how we continue to support bad behavior. Now, granted, you may not like what the Israelis are doing. I'm not even commenting on settlements and all that other stuff. But if it's nonviolent, that's a different story than killing people.
Sure.
And now they agree to a ceasefire.
Yeah, they ceasefire today.
Recently.
Hey, listen, one of the reasons I brought this up is because I did a podcast, which will be published in about 2 weeks, with our buddy Marshall here. And he talked about extremes. And I thought it resonated in a big way with me. Please leave that up on the screen. Not up the screen where people see it, but what I can see it, because I want to comment on those, on Nash and JB Ballin. Yeah, just leave them up there, please. I think your message yesterday
Yeah.
resonated with me. In fact, I want to tell you that I think it kind of made me a little, even at dinner and afterwards, I kind of was really thoughtful on the whole thing. My wife kept asking me, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, I don't know what was bothering me, but I really think it's actually really well thought out. You're truly obviously educated on these topics.
Thank you.
So I wonder if you could cover for a few minutes, even though it's going to be in the podcast later, I want to talk about, this is a risk-on moment, man. He's talking about a strategy, what's happening right now. I think this is great advice, and I want everyone to listen about the concept. What was that?
What?
I thought I heard music. I want to hear the concept of risk and extreme, what you were talking about, these extremes that we're experiencing, Marshall.
Yeah. Well, I look at the markets and all my investments from a macro point of view. I try not to get into weeds. I'm trying to look around the bend if I can. And if you can pull your bias out of it and kind of take a higher level approach, you can see that everything is an extreme now. We're in this super cycle of extremes, like massive exuberance to the up and the downside. And based on my observations and my belief of the macro environment, I believe we're going to have an extreme on the negative side. Like you said, you're not really bullish on the market, and I'm not either. You know, as it relates to equities, I probably would only be bullish on equities that have commodity exposure and clean energy exposure right now. That's why all of my allocation is in hard assets.
Yeah.
Real estate and crypto, inflation hedges. But I think that it's as clear as day that we're in this type of cycle right now. And I think it's because the first time in human history we have access to information instantly, and we all have a vehicle of voicing our emotion. And because of that, you have a cluster of a lot of noise that I think is not interpreted well by all of us. And when you put these things together, you have this crescendo, I think. And I think that's what's spurring a lot of the exuberance that we see today. And I can see it coming to us on the downside based on the macro environment. And so I look at my investments in that way. I try not to get into the weeds as best as I can.
Yeah.
I take a macro approach, and then when I see an opportunity, then I will devour that opportunity, know everything about it, make sure I'm fully convicted on it, like the Bitcoin trade. And then my timeline, my horizon is 10 years. Yeah, well, Bitcoin is obviously, like I said to you yesterday, it's the world's first self-clearing bearer instrument that cannot be debased, cannot be stolen and degraded. So inflation robs you of your labor, okay? And when you have, and it has a direct correlation to quantitative easing and money printing. And politicians are the ones that pull the strings on that. So politicians who are not economists and who have not provided the labor that you provided will make decisions that erode your wealth. Listen, The reason why everything took place in New York is because it was a place where talent concentrated. And so wherever talent concentrates, like, for instance, Silicon Valley is a place where talent concentrated.
Sure.
You're going to have growth and you're going to have all the opportunity. Now, the opportunity seems to be spreading around. We're in a migration period in the States.
The talent I think I have is to identify undervalued assets. I clearly have been able to do that. I have done it enough times to prove that takes place. And I can even say consciously, that Jason Bartholomew, who's a professional poker player, we all know that, my partner on this show, when 2.5 years ago, I said, Jason, I really want you to think about working with me. And he said, yeah, maybe. I'm playing poker and we'll talk about it. We talked about it for like 2.5 years. And I said, I really think there's a skill set for you. Now, at the time, I didn't know that he was a former banker for RBC, that he ran branches, and it was, obviously he had a corporate life. But I think I find things that are undervalued, people that are undervalued, businesses that are undervalued, property that are undervalued. But I don't articulate the way you do. I think that you have a skill set that is, in some degree, you're a teacher. We got a new thing called Risk On Rewind, and it covers every time we talk about a stock. Very fascinating idea. Special thanks to Josh for putting that together.
That's cool.
And Tyler. And I want to give a shout out to my man Jason, who is in the middle of a business development deal. I'm very excited about this. The team is humming. We're humming here. The market was humming today. We made a lot of money. It was a good day.
Yeah.
Marshall's in the house.
Absolutely. Hey, can I shout out the chat?
Sure.
You guys are awesome. And I'm usually in the chat, and it's cool to be here with you guys.
A lot of those people in Super Chat, a lot of those people just regular followers.
Yeah.
Special thanks to the Naked Army. We're going to have Armada Trading, I hope, on tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. It's May 20th. This is Risk On. We love you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Hey, it's Todd Ault. It's 5/21, 2021.
Yes.
My man Jason's in the house.
Well, hello.
Thank you for doing Risk On Sports all by your lonesome.
I had Randy and Joe.
You had Randy and Joe.
Yeah, we managed.
Hey, man, I got an IPO brewing, so I'm excited. It is the 21st of May. Skylar, what's up?
Hi, I'm here too.
Is this 78?
Yeah, 78.
Hey, this is Risk On 78. 78 shows together, my man. We haven't missed one together.
That's pretty impressive.
What about that? We did miss one Risk On Sports together, though.
Yeah, but that's okay. We're just
You're not mad about that, are you?
No, I'm scrambling a little bit here. Welcome to the radio listeners. WKEIB 1150 The Patriot, Orange County, Los Angeles. We appreciate you. We're going to be talking about
doing the call out.
lot of stuff today.
You see that?
Yeah.
We're also on the iHeartRadio app,
Yeah.
and we're on every Sunday at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Hey, those of you who follow us, check out our rewind on GME.
Actually, hey, you
on
know what?
GameStop.
Let's do this real quick.
Do we get dinged for our own copyright?
No, let's show that. Let's show Let's show the preview on that. I've got it queued up. This
We
is
show
pretty.
the preview?
Yeah,
Is
this is
there a
pretty.
preview?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's
No,
here.
there's a preview to the actual video.
Yeah, let's go to it.
Oh, nice.
Let's go to it right now.
That's wonderful.
Let's see if we have this queued up. Let me see if I have some sound here. Bear with me 1 second. I want to make sure we have sound. Do we have sound?
Bit-
All right. Let's see.
Bitcoin fell as much as 10% this week.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. China flexed its muscles again on Bitcoin. All right, let's go full screen. Okay, so we've got this 11-minute video on GME Rewind, and we're going to preview it.
Rewind? Hey, Jason, we're going to cover GME, dude. We've covered this in so many episodes, and I'm so excited. It's kind of a fun thing. It talks about everything we did for the quarter in GME. It's kind of crazy. GameStop. Can we talk about GameStop for a second? Hey, on my mind and your mind should be GameStop, the everlasting gobstopper, which is GameStop. I've been doing this for 32 years. I have never seen something do what it's done. It has retraced 50% of...
Okay, bear with me. I think that was...
No, I love that. How long is it?
Yeah, but that wasn't the preview.
Was that the whole thing?
Yeah. Anyway, that's
I love that.
what's coming. You guys can
You guys
find
got to
that.
check it. Listen, those of you on the radio, go to Todd Ault, TODDAULT, or Risk On, and there'll be a link there. You can watch it on YouTube. Hey, Josh, can they watch it on anything else? Is it available? Can we bring Josh in live?
Yep. So we're going to have it posted pretty soon after this on Facebook and Instagram and
ANVS
anywhere else.
going up.
So what we like to do now, and a new
Like it.
segment we have is Risk. Stay with me, Josh. Stay with. Don't get split.
Yeah.
Can you split Josh and I? So what we like to do now, and this is something, and I got to give you credit. We're gonna do. Is this you or Tyler that came up with this? It was you.
Tyler and I have been working on it together.
Oh, you're such a
Yeah.
diplomat. Look at you. You're a diplomat. So you and Tyler come up with this idea of tracking everything we say And what I noticed is I told people at the Coinbase IPO, crypto was topped out.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
Yep.
And we got it on camera.
I know.
So all you haters out there, the video is the video, Skylar, right? I mean, when you got caught on video, Skylar, there was no denying what you were doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get out of it.
No.
All right. So I love this. You guys got to check out this GME Rewind.
The topic of the day is Bitcoin and Ethereum cryptocurrency. The China Vice Premier Liu came out and commented about the digital currency regarding the crackdown in China, which has been ongoing since 2017. Well, he reiterated that, and immediately crypto fell off the cliff. Currently, at this time on air, Bitcoin is 35.9 and Ethereum is 23.
I think it's one thing to understand, and that is really troubling some market experts, is crypto is kind of pulling down the market.
Yeah.
And it's a $2 trillion, $3 trillion asset class, and it's weighing heavily on the market. It's weighing heavily on the psychology and the way people are trading.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the perfect time, that May, June doldrums, where people are, we're reopening, people wanting to go to dinner and not really want to pay attention to this. And so it's hurting psyches. Keep in mind, the S&P ended Friday flat, but it's the first back-to-back weekly loss since February.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's no denying that this is a downtrend that's continuing. Kind of a flat to downtrend, right?
I agree, and also I want to watch what happens with Bitcoin and Ethereum over the weekend. The markets are closed, people are bored. Will they take interest in buying this massive dip, 35.9, 36,000? Just to give you an idea of where we're at from a ratio standpoint, Bitcoin 36,000, Ethereum 2333. So we want to take a look at how this is falling, if it's falling in line with the ratio. In fact, the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio is 15.43 currently, which means the fall of Ethereum has outweighed the fall of Bitcoin. If I've been following my ratio tracking, you know that it took about 12.9 Ethereum to equal a Bitcoin recently. Well, since then, the spread has increased, and now we're looking at almost 15.5 Ethereum to equal 1 Bitcoin.
I wonder if China realizes that they're effectively making the case for Bitcoin.
They are.
They're effectively saying, we're not going to let you have it, and that's the very reason it was created, right? It's really troubling.
Well, it fits into their ideology of controlling their people.
I know Joe Biden, the president, and the Treasury Secretary, they like to watch the show occasionally to get educated. So that was funny, Skylar.
It was funny.
So to the Treasury Secretary, this is your opportunity. This is Janet Yellen now, right?
Yeah.
Reverse your position on crypto. Get long. Embrace mining. Let's get green energy going behind mining here in the U.S. The U.S. could be the mining capital of the world, right?
Right.
And also to the Fed, put crypto on your balance sheet. Go buy Bitcoin. Biden's spending $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there. We know the White House countered today GOP senators with a $1.7 trillion infrastructure plan. I encourage you, put $500 billion worth of Bitcoin on your balance sheet and be long Bitcoin. There's only 18 million of them available.
Mm-hmm.
There's a limited supply, and you could let China go do their damage while you get long Bitcoin. And that you'll see that not only rip, but you'll be able to control. They'll be able to control their own destiny, right? I mean, they don't have to fear that decentralization. I have a friend of mine who's in private equity, lives in San Francisco, and I was coming to see him, and he said, "Hey, do me a favor, don't even take a car." I said, "What do you mean, don't take a car?" He's like, "Take an Uber to where you're seeing me. Don't drive your car. Leave your car where you're at." And I was down in, I think I was in Sonoma. I said, "Why?" He goes, "If you bring your car to San Francisco, they'll break the windows and steal all the stuff inside of it." I said, "Really?" He goes, "It's rampant." So when I went to see him, I did what he asked, and I took an Uber. And apparently in San Francisco, if you steal less than $950, it's effectively like a ticket, right?
Yeah.
And they don't prosecute anybody, apparently. And I witnessed something like this in LA where I watched a guy walk into a Target, steal champagne, putting it in his backpack, and walk right out the front door. And I told everyone they didn't do anything about it. Yesterday, you see Walgreens closing down 17 locations, saying shoplifting is out of control in San Francisco, and a failure to basically abide by basic law in San Francisco has led them to say, hey, we can't do this anymore.
Well, they changed the law. They made anything under $9.50 a joke. So what do? They just go into the stores and just raid them.
The reality is 17 Walgreens are closing in San Francisco because of out-of-control shoplifting.
That's proposition for, 47 from 2014 or 2017? I want to tell you guys correctly on this. What happened was they changed the law, and, yeah, that's from Inside Edition. I wish I could show that.
Yeah, effectively, there's nothing you can do about it, right?
Walgreens says that the theft at Walgreens in the city is 4 times the average from other stores across the country. The pharmacy chain spends 35 times more on security guards in the city of San Francisco than anywhere else in the country.
So a major city like San Francisco is losing a provider of pharmaceutical drugs because the government, the city of San Francisco, and I think they really get the sort of Hall of Shame award. I mean, it's really terrible.
Yeah.
They're not enforcing the laws, and the laws they put in place allow for people to basically steal $9.50 without prosecution.
Yeah, they get, what's the worst case scenario? They get like a citation or something?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And if you know San Francisco, you know there's an app designed for people to visit the city that tracks areas where it's high concentration of needles and feces, so you can avoid stepping on that stuff or sticking yourself. Right. It's disgusting.
I wonder why such a migration is taking place from certain parts of California.
Well, I mean, you have a certain ideology that's allowing this stuff, that's empowering this kind of behavior, and they don't see anything wrong with it. Well, there's going to be consequences, and you're starting to see them.
Right.
So there you go.
Hello.
Sam, how are you, buddy?
What's up, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks. Yourself?
Nice.
I'm good.
Sorry.
Sam,
you're doing well.
Let me introduce Sam. Sam, this is Sam from Armada Trading. Sam, how do people get a hold of you and follow Armada Trading? Do you have we put a quick link up for you?
Yeah, so we currently have a YouTube channel, and we are currently developing, streaming on Twitch and stuff. We have, Instagram, Twitter, all of the social media platforms. You probably find us on all of them. Normally Armada Trading or Trading Armada is one of those. And yeah, feel free to find us anywhere.
Nice.
The symbol is Victor X-Ray Robert Tom.
Correct.
VXRT, Vexart, and it's currently trading at $6.70, down 26 cents today, $6.72 in the aftermarket. Let's go to the 5-day. We'll pull that up there. The 5-day, it's up 30 cents. Looks great. Wow, it hit last month. It hit almost almost 11.
Really climbed.
Yeah,
yeah.
about 1070. So, Sam, why don't you take us through what this company does?
So this company is currently doing oral vaccines for COVID-19. It's going to be one of those long-term plays. Anything to do with COVID-19 at the moment is going to be a long-term play, I think, especially with oral vaccines, because that's going to be the next thing. And obviously, oral vaccines are a lot nicer to take, I assume, than an injection, because a lot of people don't like taking injections. So I think an oral vaccine would be a good long-term play for the future, potentially.
Todd, can you talk about the IPO and the earnings conference call next week?
Shervin sent something on my Twitter. Shervin, I saw, is that the same doctor, right? Yeah. I can't comment on the IPO other than to say you wouldn't file documents to go public if you didn't intend to. But I can tell you that there were 2 confidential filings, which we made public. Mm-hmm. And the recent filing was not confidential. And if you go to Alzheimer's Neuro at the SEC.gov website, you can see the latest S1 filing. And an S1 live is something you file before you go public. As for Ault Global Holdings, the earnings call will be at 2:30 on Monday.
Yeah.
As we are releasing our earnings after the close on Monday. And that should be public knowledge shortly. Well, it actually already is. I'm sure the press release already happened. The whole show is already over.
Yeah.
Well, 56 minutes goes so fast.
Thanks, Devon. Appreciate it.
When you're having fun. Special thanks to Armada Trading for coming on. We love Sam.
Yes.
We love the Naked Army. I know what you want. From me to you, I'm working on the same thing you want me to work on.
Yep.
We are big fans of Naked and what they're doing there. There's something's up. We're fans of the Naked Army. Obviously, I don't want to talk much more about it because for various reasons. Hopefully, you guys all have a good weekend. Those of you on the radio, KEIB 1150 Los Angeles, Orange County. Text us at 949-799-1831 and type in merch, and we'll send you free merch. Text us at 949-799-1831 and type in merch, and we'll send you merch that stops on the 31st. So you got to get your merch in now. After that, it'll be a contest. For Jason, Skyla, my man Josh, Nick and Brett, Willie and the team, have a happy Friday. We will see you Monday, and I'll see you at the Indy 500 next week.
Boom.
See you guys.